2 years have passed since the tragic events of October 14, 2017. The senseless deaths and injuries of so many Somalis suffered on that day remain fresh in our minds. Our hearts and thoughts go out to the survivors of that attack and to their families. The resilience and the courage of Somalis in the aftermath of that incident and in the aftermath of other violent extremist attacks is a tribute to Somali commitment to the path of peace and prosperity. And the United Nations stands shoulder to shoulder with Somalis on that path. On behalf of the UN team in Somalia, I present my deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the attack, and I wish a speedy recovery to the injured. There is no political or ideological justification for such atrocities. The United Nations stands with the people of Jubaland as they deal with this terrible tragedy. I also share with the people of Jubaland the determination not to let a despicable act of terrorism derail the progress that Jubaland has made towards reconciliation and political stability as a federal member state of Somalia.
The overall humanitarian response plan for 2019 continues to be less than 50% funded for this year. And we really do need the commitment of donors and all of the partners on the humanitarian response to continue this level of assistance throughout the end of the year. Because if not, we do risk the levels of people in food security emergency and crisis spiking again before the end of the year.
An estimated 1.2 million people are in IPC facing severe hunger. That's 1.2 million people in IPC phase 3 and 4, an additional 3.6 million in IPC 2. Total is 4.8 million between now and September.
We're expecting rains from October to December. We can have two things. Those rains can create a flood in the country because, we never been clean all those rivers. And if you don't have rains, the worst is on the way. We have to take serious and tackle together.
The hopes after this Somalia Partnership Forum is that these commitments, these agreements to support a much more bright future for Somalis, sustainable future for Somali women and marginalized and youth communities, is that we are going to get support. They're not just going to be words that are said at the table, but they will be supported with action, with strategy, and ultimately quality delivery. So by the next SPF, we will be talking about and celebrating their achievements and talking about the next commitments over the next 4 years.
What we would like mostly is that the Parliament adopted the electoral law and also the amendment of political parties. We want to get a political will because election is a responsibility sharing, and we want that the international community to not stop funding and saying that before we get the electoral law, we are not funding, because time is not waiting. We have to do the job. The electoral law will come. But if we say we wait, then we will not be on time on election. The timetable will be mixed up.
The constitutional review process has witnessed a lot of progress, and the meeting has witnessed that the technical review of the constitution has fairly been completed, and there are a few things that remain to be finalized very soon, within a couple of months to come.
Over the last 2 years, impressive progress has been made in the economic sector.
Somalia is making tremendous strides. We are ready to move forward together in this limited time we have, together with our federal member states, both houses of parliament and the political elite. We will endeavor to chart forward to ensure that progress achieved is not set back. Therefore, in the coming times, we'll work on narrowed priorities, including holding open and fair elections and ensuring a peaceful transition, completion of the constitutional review process, and deepening of an institutionalizing of federalism. All this while not losing sight of the gains made so far and the investment of our international partners.
As part of our collective commitments, the UN family and the broader international community stand ready and committed to provide the necessary support as Somali leaders take those critical next steps on inclusive politics. Thank you.
I am very pleased to welcome you all to the 4th Somalia Partnership Forum.
We must first acknowledge the significant achievements made to date under Somali leadership and with international support. These include improvements in administrative capacity at both the national and federal member state level, impressive gains in public financial management, recent advances in military operations against al-Shabaab, and an important start to needed reforms to security institutions. A welcome strategic focus on a long-term development strategy captured in the new National Development Plan, among many other areas of progress. The Somalia Partnership Forum now offers an opportunity to chart a course forward for the next 12 to 15 months with clearly defined priority objectives and timelines. While acknowledging, indeed celebrating, the progress to date, we must also be honest and frank about the challenges that remain.
The Somalia Partnership Forum offers this space to share information, updates, and lessons learned in advancing the government's roadmaps and priorities, as well as the National Development Plan. During the course of the 2 days, the forum will present opportunities to draw upon the knowledge and expertise of participants with a common goal of building on important gains and reforms with the level and depth of discussion no doubt giving us an ample food for thought and action.
visited a couple of projects, and we met some of the people, and we got the possibility to interact and ask questions and learn about the situation, especially for the growing IDP population in this part of the country.